Boom! Let's do a new one. 2025 has introduced many safes, some safe accessories. We're continuing to follow them. Stay here for more live reporting on site with Robert. Hey, we need you. This right here is the Colonial 23, but it's got the Pro Flex interior. Let's get into the video. All right, so check it out. Colonial 23, yes. Why is it new? What does Pro Flex mean? Let's figure out all these things. But we'll have to start it off in the one way we do around here, which of course is our little game we like to call What You See in Front of You. Here we go. Around these parts, I like to start with dimensions because it's really hard for you to determine, hey, that guy's obviously 6'8", 380 pounds, so how big is that safe really? So we'll put them on the screen and we'll break right into it. Here we go. This bad boy stands in at 60.5 inches tall. It is 30 inches wide, and the depth from front to back, or back to front, whichever, I'm not judging, is 22 inches. This measurement is important to note that that's only from the very back of the safe to the very front of the safe. So literally the box itself, yes? That will not include things like the lock, nor the 3-spoke handle. Is there a circle around it right now? There's supposed to be a circle around it, right? This particular one happens to come with a outlet in it for power. So we're gonna need to add for that dimension as well. So I like to usually recommend you add about 3.5 inches so that you're clear of these and that plug. Now that's for the final resting place, because obviously the 22 inches plus a little bit more means that it can go through places. Popular about this safe, I should probably say while I'm thinking about it, we've actually installed this in many closets. Why? Because at 22 inches with just a little bit more, because this is removable, yes? This is removable. And so many closets happen to only have a 23.5 inch opening. So again, sideways I can go through a closet with that, so keep that in mind. Also keep in mind, since you're doing that right now, what you see in front of you is an American-made safe, right? It is mostly American-made. We'll get into some more details about that, but it is mostly an American-made product. And it's a 25 gun safe. And I should probably say that so I don't forget to say that. 25 long gun safe, okay? Let's keep scrolling on down. What you see in front of you? Well, the color. And this particular selection is the textured black finish. Very popular. With that, we get the Secure RAM backlit keypad. I'm a big fan of this lock. It seems to hold up and do very well. And if it has an issue, so many times it can be solved without having to drill one open or even send a locksmith out. So I like that. Yes, you can actually order this exact same safe with the mechanical lock. There's actually no price difference between the two. Pretty cool. 3-spoke handle. So they're both in, polished chrome is the finish here. 3-spoke polished chrome handle. I got that right. Those color combinations don't really change per se in the black, but as you look at all the other colors offered in this line, a different color may come with a different colored hardware, okay? So that's kind of what we see in front of you. Now, something else we see in front of us, but you don't know you do, would be the steel in which it's constructed. Not only that, but I'm gonna get a little nerdy about facts while I'm doing it. This thing happens to be constructed from a 12 gauge steel. It's good. It's not great. It's not grand. It's not some of the monsters that we've had on the channel by any stretch of imagination. It is good when we're comparing that to, again, the average home break-in and what guys and gals are attempting to do when they break in using brute force or using tools you have laying around the house or out in the garage, yeah? So, there's a lot of key features though that even though it's only 12 that we're gonna get into that make it that much harder to get into. So this 12 gauge steel body, just the body, it's actually their, let me get this wrong, dual fusion 2-piece body. That sounds right in my head. It's probably not. What they're saying though is what sets them apart from other manufacturers at Liberty is that they've spent so much money on large machinery that they're able to bend more steel at one time to create a box. So in this case, the side, the other side, the top and the bottom, they do one of those cool shoots. Like, did they cut that up when I did it? Hold on, let's do this again. Like it's 3D, you ready? So this side, that side, the bottom and the top, That is one piece of steel. So you see it, but you don't see it. Then they put the back on and they weld it from the inside continuous, they weld it from the outside continuous. Then they build, construct, hang the door. The door is constructed of the same 12 gauge steel that the body is. Difference being is that there's a whole nother layer of 12 gauge steel behind it. So the door is essentially two pieces of steel coming together. That's primarily the little game that I call what you see in front of you. I'm gonna go ahead and break that down just a wee bit more, shan't I? So, right here, if I was attempting to drill my way into this safe, what's gonna happen is not only do I have to make it through the 12 gauge steel on the outside, 12 gauge steel on the inside, then I've got to make it through 3 sheets of hardened steel. I've got to make it past those just to find my way to the lock, okay? That's no easy feat, I promise, especially when I'm using my, Harbor Freight bits. Good luck. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna bash my way into it with my 3-pound sledgy. Yeah? So here I am and I'm bashing, I'm having a good time. Everybody's bashing, here we go. Everybody's doing it these days. It's really fun, right? Now, what happens is that something called an external reed locker is activated. So the external reed locker is that of a mouse trap, booby trap, really? It's connected to the lock body on the inside of the door. And essentially what I'm talking about is about a 3-inch long piece of steel that's spring loaded and then set in place when we put the lock together, so that the bashing and the bashing and the bashing eventually is going to move said 3-inch piece of steel. It's going to shoot right down into the path in which this handle turns, pretty much defeating anything you're going to try. Cool thing is everything I just named, by the way, I don't say it enough, that's covered under a lifetime warranty. They'll pay me to come out, open it, fix it, replace it, whatever needs to be done. So, pretty neat. Now, let's just say, hey man, I just need to turn this handle to get into this safe. So I've got my cheater bar. Everybody familiar? I'm gonna stick my cheater bar, hold on, do the sound effect, you ready? I'm gonna put my cheater bar on the handle, you ready? Okay, so now I put my cheater bar on and I'm just gonna grab this dude. Okay, I'm gonna grab this cheater bar and I'm just gonna yerk and pull, and I'm gonna make that handle turn, and I'll just break my way in. Simple enough, yes? Cool, let's try it without the cheater bar. Safe locked, all in agreement? Yes. All right, here we go, ready? And, cheater bar, wait. The hell is, what? It's called a slip clutch. It's actually meant to do that, so that the more you try and you play, if this thing is engaged as far as lock, it won't turn. So, good luck to you all. Now, these are the things that obviously the crackhead breaking into your home doesn't know. So they've created all these different levels to make it hard for them to get into. Yes? Now, I've got to be honest with you, because that's what I do here. If you're enjoying this content so far, I really need you to go ahead and like, subscribe, follow, and share. Put all the little icons on the screen so you know which ones to look for. Here we go. Right there, right? Go find those things, click, push, do all the things, please. Thank you. So, moving on. Let's talk about that door a little bit more, because yes, doors where the strength is from a manufacturer. Every one of them, doesn't matter. So, enter your combination. Still worked, even after all those times you saw me spinning around. Really cool, right? So, with Liberty, they've moved to their solid state locking bars. Trademark. Quite a while back, because they found that having these dudes, these flat locking bars, these flat pieces of steel instead of round bolts, creates a stronger door, making it harder to try to pry it open. They've shown that in several tests. I stood there and watched them. This safe, actually, a Colonial 23 laying on its back, hydraulic pull, got to like 15,000 pounds and the door did not open. Pretty gnarly. So, and we do that because now instead of having just a round bolt, which imagine, you see, right here. So imagine I'm a 1-inch round bolt, yes? This is as big as I am. This is, yes, this is thicker being a 1/4 inch by 4. I get it, but at the end of the day, the little display I like to do for everybody when we're talking about them is imagine a 1-inch bolt goes right here behind the door jamb, yes? As you can see perfectly, there's only one spot touching the inside of that door jamb, which of course would be right there. Not here, not here, not just that, right? So, when I take this 4-inch wide dude and I stick it behind here, about 4 inches? As you can tell, the entire thing is touching, right? So we got about 12 times the contact radius, they always say. But now we've got that going all the way down and around. It's actually fairly impressive design, and it seems to work really well for predominantly pry attacks, which is what we're most commonly going to see in home break-ins, okay? So that's kind of a roundabout way of telling you what you see in front of you and then a little bit more about the door. But 'tis the time we talk about the fire because that is super important with you shopping right now. We've talked about a lot of security features, which is numero uno, but now you gotta talk about that fire, which should be the other 50% of that shopping experience. Other than the size and all the things, I get it, but how strong and how fire rated is it? So we'll talk about fire, we put a little graph on the screen, we do this whole thing. Usually it goes okay. Let's just see how it works. So, lights. Okay, so there's a fire. Here it is, right? Can you hear it? Can you see it on the screen? It's pretty cool. Gnarly little graphic we do. So imagine that the fire is burning now. Watch this temperature because it's going to get all the way up to 1200 degrees, please. So now the fire is reaching its way up to 1200 degrees, which is a very hot fire. This safe is going to hold for 75 minutes at 1200 degrees. Right? So I've got this fire, it's got as hot as 1200 degrees, it stayed that hot for 75 minutes. The inside of the safe will not breach 350 degrees during that time. Make sense? Cool. Lights. That works. So why that's important is because that paper is combustible over 400 degrees. And if you've seen any of the other videos, a bit of a broken record, but again, I don't know what other videos you've watched, so I want to make sure you get it the first time, every time. So, combustible at 400 degrees. Again, I'm down here at 350 for an exceptionally long time at a really high fire rating. Yes, well, that's also important for cardboard boxes that your ammunition's in and the plastic folders you've got in there, the cash money you've got on hand, your stocks, your guns, your barrel, everything, right? So they're staying well protected during that time, so it's super important. So, something that they do on the inside to help with said fire protection is a little something something called the V-Seal Palusol, right? Beautiful B-roll up close because you probably can't see it from there. So what happens is that when the door shuts and closes, no, it's not super airtight. So Palusol right here, once it's in the safe is in a fire, it starts to expand 7 times its natural size to create a tighter seal between the door and the body. So we're not letting in smoke and soot, water, fire, all these things, right? We're protecting it. So we've done that with our fire protection as well. Super important to look out for all these little things that I name, okay? Now, since you have not been listening to me since I opened the door because you're only looking on the inside, yes, that's what's new for 2025 Colonial Series is the ProFlex modular interior. Now, to make it even better, let's do a quick collage of all the different ways you can move it around. Ready? Go. Okay. A little winded from that escapade. So there's a lot of different ways that you can move this around and make it whatever you want it to be and create it. So I did it the way I would do it here. We'll get into it some more. You ready? Let's talk here. Yes, it does come with a door panel. This is absolutely mil spec with these safes. It comes with the factory, so I've got 4 pistols, I got some pouches, some zipper things, some whatever, right? Plenty of room to do whatever. I just realized I didn't put a gun on the door. Janky. That's crap. You all deserve better. Huh? All right. So I can do 4 pistols right there. Now, I told you it was a 25 long gun safe. I know, I hear you. But as you can see, I just threw some stuff in there to kind of play around and mess around. One thing I love about the ProFlex interior that we've seen from our other manufacturers that we've had on the channel as well is that it allows me to do funny things like this with shorties. And then of course I can move these guys over here. So over there we just threw a bunch of bulky stuff, 223. That's actually 7.62 by 39. It's really cool. AK, got the wife's golden boy over there. We've got a lot of room. We can move these shelves up and down. We can throw a bunch of paperwork, a bunch of ammo cans at the bottom. How great is that? So you put that weight on the floor instead of keeping it on shelves, whatever. But there's a lot of functionality to this thing. Now, we're using our natural lights in the studio here to kind of brighten it up. So it does not come with LED lights, no, but that's an accessory you can buy and add yourself. It's really inexpensive. And again, the power's already there. Shot of the power, you ready? The power's already there. There it is, built inside the safe, so everything's already ready for you to go. Now with that, there's also 4 holes in the bottom of the safe, so when we put it in place for you, it can be bolted down as well. So you've got that going for you. This is a really nice economy, if you will, type safe. And I say that based off of American made and then the thickness of the steel, all the things that we get, the size and all that jazz. That's kind of where I've always called it, right? This is a really good middle ground, safe, if you will. So, all that said, this bad boy weighs in at, drum roll please, 577 pounds. Now, ProFlex interior is still an option, meaning if you're not in love with super modularity and you just want the same old same because you prefer it, have at it. This is actually an upgraded interior that you can pay for. So, as seen here, this dude comes in at $25.49. I got it. So you can actually knock 250 bucks off if you don't want the cool modular interior. So you have that going for you as well. Lifetime warranty for break-ins, lifetime warranty for fire damage. The lock has a 5-year manufacturer's warranty, which for $130 can be upgraded to a lifetime warranty. If I forgot anything, jump down in that comment section. Let us know. Try to run through these quickly. It's helping you safe shop at home comfortably. Maybe you're at work right now. I don't know, I'm not judging you. Could be on the toilet. Again, not judging you. We're friends. Like, subscribe, follow, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.